Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Tally Girl, and we are here for yet another nail polish video. So today's video is going to be all about my D-stash. So let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and we are almost there. So if you like nail polish content, a little bit of makeup and a little bit of hair, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so I'm gonna have to split this video up into two parts. This will be part one because I destashed more polishes than I remember. So let's talk about that real quick. So I did two destashes this year. One I did earlier in the year. I destashed a lot of polishes. And then a couple months ago, I went through my collection again and destashed for a couple of reasons. One, the way I have my collection organized, I am running out of space. So that's one reason why I destashed twice this year. And also another reason why I have not been buying a whole lot of polish this year is because your girl is running out of space. And right now I don't want to get more space. I'm trying to work with what I have. So there's that. And then also, I just am getting to a place with my collection where I went through, like, I'm in a different phase. I went through the I'm just getting into this kind of phase. I went through the I want to buy everything phase. And now I'm kind of at the point where I'm being more cautious about what I'm buying, first of all. And second of all, being kind of like refining my collection. Before I was really hesitant about getting rid of polishes, especially if like I paid a lot of money for them and like maybe I didn't like them. I was hesitant about getting rid of them. I'm like, oh, I'll try it again. I'll try to wear it again. And if I don't like it that time or whatever, I've since let that go. I'm way more willing to destash polishes as I wear them. Like if I come across a polish that I don't like, I'm gonna get rid of it. And also I was noticing that I was like starting to dupe myself a lot too. So I wanted to get rid of some dupes. I wanted to compare some colors and see what kind of I like more, like what undertone I like more, like what formula I like more, just like refining my collection and really reflecting on what I like now, because I don't necessarily have the same taste I had a couple years ago when I started collecting polish. So I say all of that to say that is the reason I did two destashes this year and I got rid of quite a lot of polishes. So today we are going to do part one, which is going to be all of the polishes in this bag. Yes, so this is part of the polishes. The other part is actually my sister's new nail polish collection. I let her go through the polishes and she actually wanted to keep quite a good amount of them. I would say about half. I would say maybe I've destashed probably anywhere from 50 to 75 polishes, somewhere in there. And she actually wanted to keep quite a few of them. And she's painted her nails a few times since then, so that's really exciting. But these are the ones that she did not want to keep. And some of them I have destashed after she already looked through them. So we're just gonna jump in. We're not gonna do these in any particular order. We're just gonna pull them out. I'm gonna tell you why I destashed them. So this first one I have is a Sassy Sauce polish, and this one is called Sea Alice. This is like this teal blue and it has these flakies in there as well as a blue shimmer. So with this one, I decided to destash this one. For one, it is a thermal and I don't like thermals. And also they just have a short shelf life. They don't transition forever. At some point they stop working. So then you get stuck with whatever that, I think the warm state color is the one that you get stuck with if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know, when I put this polish on my nails, it just looked better in the bottle, which is sometimes that's so disappointing when a polish looks better in the bottle than it does on the nails, because you see the bottle, you're like, oh my gosh, I want my nails to look exactly like that, and sometimes it doesn't pan out. So this one was just underwhelming to me, on top of it being a thermal, which thermals are something that I tried to get into, but I realized it wasn't something that was my jam. So next up, I have a Louise lacquer, and this one is called King of Tigers. So this one came out in 2020. It is a very light pastel, I don't know whether to describe it as pink or purple. I guess I would say pink polish. And it has these very faint shimmer in there, and this very faint blue kind of flaky in there. I don't know if you guys can really see it. So I bought this polish for two reasons. One, this maker, which this brand is not around anymore, but she had done a collection kind of like inspired by 2020 and everything that was that year. And one of the things that year that came out was Tiger King, which if you guys haven't watched that, it was crazy. You should watch it one day. But so I like the inspiration for this polish, and I also like the polish. If you guys are new here on my channel, and if you're old here, you know that, or not if you're old here, that sounded so rude. If you have been a subby for a long time, then you guys know that I love pink and blue together. So when I saw this polish on the site and saw that it was this light pink base with these blue micro flakies, I was really interested in it. And when I put it on my nails, the flakies do not show up. The blue flakies don't show up. And so it just kind of looks like this like really pale pink polish. So that was really kind of a letdown. Again, one of those instances where it looks better in the bottle than it does on your nails. Another polish I have, this one, I'm just going to show you guys the back of this bottle. So it's a blue, and it has a beautiful hot pink shimmer in there, which is absolutely gorgeous. I wore this one time. Of course, again, we have our pink and blue here, but I decided to get rid of this because even though the polish is cute, has good formula, this is the brand that I don't support anymore. That's why I'm not showing you guys the other side of the bottle or telling you guys the name. And so it was like I would wear it, but I wouldn't be able to tell you guys like about the polish, and it kind of got pointless. And I have other polishes in my collection. I have one from KB Shimmer that's a blue holographic with a pink shimmer in it. So I just decided to let this one go, because usually when it comes to brands that, you know, I no longer support, it's kind of like I already bought the polish, I might as well keep it. But all of those things combined together, and then me having something similar from a brand that I am comfortable with supporting, I was just like, I'll let that one go. So next I have this Cuticula polish called Ice Castle, and this is acrylic, and it has beautiful flakies in there that shift different colors, and you also have a silver flaky in there as well. So this one I got in a D-stash, and I don't know what else to say except I thought I wanted this. I swatched it. I never actually wore this for a full mani. I swatched it, and that was it. If you guys have been around here and subscribed to my channel, you guys know that I don't like glitter curlies as much as I used to, and so this was one that I was just willing to let go of because I'm not that in love with this type of like polish formula anymore. And then on top of that, I never even wore it. Like I never gravitated to it enough to actually wear it for a manicure. So I got rid of that one. I have this 9-0 here called Smore Hol. So this is kind of like a mauvey purple, and it has a soft holographic, linear holographic shimmer in there. So the reason I decided to get this one was the color. I don't know if my taste is changing or not, but this type of shade, in my opinion, is not flattering on my skin tone. I feel like these type of colors on my skin tone, my skin brings out like this kind of like a brown undertone in the polish, and it's just not flattering on me. So I decided to get rid of this one because of that. Next up, I have another brand that I don't support anymore, and this polish stains so bad. It's like this dark teal linear holographic, and so the staining coupled with me not supporting this brand anymore, I just decided to get rid of that. Next, we have a Color Club. This one is called, what is this called? Double Scoop. So this is like a really light pink, kind of like blush base, and it has a bunch of these black matte glitters in there, and it's kind of supposed to give you like a speckled egg kind of look. And again, I just don't really care for glitter crellies that much anymore, so I decided to get rid of this one. Next up, I have a different dimension, and this one is a mystery prototype, and the number is 154. So this is a gray base, and it has this beautiful blue shimmer in there. And this is a magnetic, and I had to learn that magnetics are also not something I really care for. I actually never wore this polish. I always say, I'm gonna wear it, and I literally never wore it. I had a magnet and everything. Never wore this polish. So I was just like, you know what, I'm never going to wear it if we can have a moment of honesty, so let's just go ahead and destash. Next up, I have a few OPI minis. So this first one, I destashed this because I already have a full version of this. So I think last year my mother got me a OPI advent calendar for Christmas, and it had a bunch of OPI minis in there. So I was super excited. And going through the advent calendar, they had mostly like classic OPIs that, you know, they're classics in their collection. And then they also had a lot of shades from the LA collection that they did for Christmas that year. And so this one is called Tickle My Francy, and I have a big bottle of this, so I don't need that one. And this one is the Nail Envy formula, but this is called, I forgot the name, Bubble Bath. And this is just like a sheer kind of yellow toned pink shade. I wore this summer, and I did not like it, so went ahead and destashed that one. Next up, I have this Essie, and this one is called On a Silver Platter. So this one, I went back and forth about destashing this because it's so pretty in the bottle. It's these, I want to say the base is clear, and it has fine silver glitters in there, and then there's also a gold shimmer, as you guys can see, and then there's these like medium-sized blue holographic glitters. And when I bought this, I was so excited about it, and I wore this once, and it was another case of it looks better in the bottle. Like, it doesn't look like this on the nail, because of the way this polish is made. It kind of ended up looking like really chunky, almost like it's supposed to be like a textured polish or something like that. It didn't self-level really well, and I really didn't like that. So I wore it one time like years ago, and I never got rid of it, and I always said, again, I'm gonna wear it again, never did. So I just decided to go ahead and get rid of her. Next up, we have a Colorestic Carol, and this one's called Free Love. I did get this one in a destash. This is a light pink base, and it just has red glitters. It has some holographic glitters in there. It has these white square glitters. I don't know if you guys can see them in the bottle. But again, I decided to get rid of this because I'm not that into crellies anymore, this type of formula. And I don't really care for the square glitters in here. So those were the two reasons I decided to get rid of this one. Next up, I have another pink curly. So this is a Sally Hansen Insta Dry. And this one was a part of the Jelly Belly collection. And this one is called Strawberry Cheesecake. So I actually like this polish. I have no issues with it. It's kind of like a medium toned, kind of bubblegum pink base. And then you have all of these pink glitters in there of varying colors and sizes. So the reason I decided to get rid of this one was because I ended up purchasing a polish from Colorist de Carol called Not So Cowardly that was in polish pickup, and that one is very similar to this, but it does have a better formula. So I decided to let this one go and keep that one so I wouldn't have two polishes that were so similar in my collection. So that's why I got rid of that one. The next polish I have is this Sinful Colors, and this one is called Soulmate. So this is kind of like a dusty coral, I would say, and corals are not my thing. I don't really have a whole lot of like corals. I don't like coral shades or like peachy kind of shades. So I just decided to get rid of this one. And speaking of not liking peachy shades, I have this Olive Ave polish, and this one's called Peony. So again, this is like kind of like a dusty light pastel peach type of shade. And these type of shades, again, I feel like it's the same thing with these type of mauvey tones up against my skin tone. Like, it's just like my skin tone pulls like some type of a brown tint out of these polishes, and it just makes them look like dirty and dingy on my nails. So it's just not a color I gravitate towards. And then last but not least for this part of the video, or this part of the video is this China Glaze, and this one is called It's All Techno. This one came out in the Trolls World Tour collection. So this is a chartreuse green. So it's a green, but it has that super strong yellow undertone to it. And the reason I decided to get rid of this one is because I don't wear chartreuse a lot, okay? I don't think chartreuse is a color that anyone wears a lot. But I have two in my collection. So I was thinking about it, I was comparing them. I was like, realistically, I don't need two of this color because, and they were both like plain creams. The one I was comparing this to was Olive Ave polish in the shade Lyra or Lyra. And I was comparing them, I was looking at swatch photos, and I ultimately decided to get rid of this one because this one is a little bit more yellow, whereas the one from Olive Ave polish leans a little bit more green. It's still a chartreuse shade, but it just leans more green, and I felt like that was more flattering against my skin tone instead of a chartreuse that leans more yellow. So that's why I decided to get rid of this one. Guys, that wraps up part one of my declutter. I have quite a lot more polishes to show you. The next video is going to have all the polishes in it that my sister decided to keep. And I am going to see you guys in the next video. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that. And if you like this type of video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.